There are a lot of happy people in North Dakota tonight after the Minnesota Vikings signed Bismarck native and former NDSU Bison standout Carson Wentz to be the backup quarterback. As mentioned earlier in the show, the Vikings will be Wentz's sixth team in as many seasons. After 5 seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles, who drafted him second overall in the 2016 NFL Draft, Wentz spent time with the Indianapolis Colts, where he played all 17 games. But the last 3 seasons, he's played in a total of 13 games. Most recently, 3 games with the Kansas City Chiefs last season. All of this after a standout career with the NDSU Bison that saw him win 2 FCS national championships. Signing Wentz was not the only quarterback move the Vikings made Sunday. Prior to the announced signing, Minnesota traded then presumed backup quarterback Sam Howell to the Philadelphia Eagles, along with a 2026 6th-round pick and a 5th-round pick in 2026 and a 7th in 27 coming back to them. Then, good news for Minnesota Gophers fans. The team then cut QB Brett Rippon, effectively naming Max Brosmer the 3rd-string quarterback. That, though, is still to be seen with the final roster cut down set for Tuesday. Now comes the speculation on what Minnesota might do with some of those extra draft picks acquired Sunday and the ones they got from the Harrison Phillips trade late last week. The consensus among NFL insiders is the Vikes are building draft capital for a wide receiver. Reports surfaced that the Vikes have looked into Detroit Lakes native and former Viking Adam Thielen, but his current team, the Carolina Panthers, may have too steep of an asking price. Regardless, a wide receiver addition seems inevitable with the Vikings' current injuries and Jordan Addison suspended for 3 games. Time will tell. Stay tuned to our social media pages for the latest, as a move could come any day now. Hitting the baseball diamond, the Fargo-Moorhead RedHawks are winners in 7 of its last 8 series. After splitting with the Chicago Dogs Friday-Saturday, FM going for yet another series win on Sunday. But they just didn't quite have it. Despite 2 long balls, one from Dylan Thomas and one from Fargo's own Mikey Hallquist, the RedHawks fall 8-6, dropping its 2nd series since July 15th. There are now just 7 games remaining in the regular season. FM returning to Newman Outdoor Field Tuesday for a 3-game series versus Winnipeg before finishing the year with a 4-game series in Sioux Falls. Meanwhile, just 20 miles away, the Minnesota Twins also dropping a series. Taj Bradley making his Minnesota Twins debut in this one. The Twins getting him from the Griffin Jacks trade, all part of that trade deadline fire sale. A day after another deadline acquired pitcher, Mike Abel, gave up 6 earned runs in 3 innings. Bradley's debut was just as bad. 7 earned in 5 innings of work as the Twins are shut out 8-zip. Minnesota returns to action Monday in Toronto. In college soccer, both North Dakota's Division I women's programs in action Sunday. North Dakota scores 3 unanswered goals in the second half to continue its hot start to the season. 3-1 winners Sunday over Jamestown. The Fighting Hawks are now 4-0 on the year and return to the pitch Friday in Missouri to battle Jackson State. In Utah Sunday, the NDSU Bison continue its early struggles, falling 3-1 to Weber State, putting them at 1-3 on the year. They return to action Thursday for its home opener, hosting Concordia St. Paul. To the racetrack, history was made this weekend in the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series. West Fargo-based driver Donny Schatz made his return to North Dakota, but he was not the only one in his family on the tracks.
What's kind of the goal, and what would you characterize as a successful weekend once it's all said and done?
I definitely would say a successful weekend would be to make the feature and both cars roll into the trailer every night, no damage.
A lofty goal in their first ever weekend with the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series, but one that they accomplished. Laela and Amelia Eisenschenk are used to sharing the racetrack together. This weekend, they shared the track with their uncle, 10-time series champion Donny Schatz. While the competition was there on the track, Schatz was giving his nieces pointers whenever he could.
He told us just to keep our heads, clear and make some good laps and, kind of just, stay in your own lane.
The twin sisters used that advice to reach the show Saturday night at Red River Valley Speedway. From racing go-karts as kids to racing with the best of the best on dirt, Schatz has seen it all transpire.
It's hard to put into words, really. We've all worked endlessly for me to get them cars to be able to do this, and they're studying things and watching and going to races. To do it right here at home is pretty cool. There's a lot of emotion there. They got a lot to learn, but yet pretty proud of what they've been doing.
The Eisenchenks qualified for the feature by placing 4th and 5th in the Last Chance Showdown. The moment they realized they made it, a feeling unmatched.
It was just a wave of emotions when it happened. You know, this crowd tonight was insane, and to be able to do it in front of all the people, the hometown crowd, it was absolutely insane. Hearing them cheer, and it was just a blessing. When they threw that checkered, it was pretty cool to know that you're in your first World of Outlaws show, but you had to move on to the next thing because we were up a couple minutes later.
Already pros with that mindset. As the girls prepare for the rest of the racing season and their careers in racing, Uncle Donny shared his best piece of advice for them.
You know, I want them to understand that this is the most elite level of racing that there is on dirt. So, you know, I had to have a little chat with them before the feature. Said, okay, you think that the hard part's over? It's not. It's just getting started. The thing of it is there's so much information to take in a short amount of time with this. I just don't want them to get too far ahead of what's going on because it's something you got to enjoy along the process, but you got to learn from every mistake made, and I think that's what's most important is every mistake that's made has to be learned from.
The girls say they have a few more races, but no plans to be with the Outlaws the rest of this season. Saturday's race, Donny took 7th, the girls 22nd and 23rd. Those interviews, though, that you saw, all after hundreds of fans got their autographs and took pictures with the girls after the race. They're stars already.
Sure seems like it'd be fun to see the next generation of Schatz racing there.
Yeah,
awesome.
I love that, especially in front of the hometown crowd like they talked about.
Absolutely.
Good for them. Thanks, Ryan.